guys? MCS Red here again. I got a video today for you on the installation of the Hurricane. I was looking through the YouTube channel and it was brought to my attention that we never did an installation video for the Hurricane. I don't know why. It's like the redheaded stepchild, no pun intended. But I'm gonna do one for you. It's very simple. This is honestly one of the more simpler installations of our conversion kits that are on the market. So let's get right into it, and I'll show you how it's done. All right, guys. So what I have here is a basic Hurricane. This is essentially the complete marker of what it will look like when it's assembled, from whether you're buying a conversion kit or you're just trying to do maintenance on your marker. So basically, the reason why I like the Hurricane so much is there's actually only three body screws that hold on the system, or the whole conversion kit together, which is one down here, which are two different sizes. And this is actually your hinge for your magwell. So I'm gonna show you how to take that off here in a second, then you have the two on top, okay? In all honesty, during installation, you don't need to take apart the body shells at all. For maintenance and things like that, that's all you'll have to do. But for the sake of this video, all I'm gonna do is gonna show you how to install from your conversion kit or to remove for maintenance. So as all of you know, the Hurricane is the X7 Phenom conversion kit. So it houses the spool valve or core in here. So that's, compared to the other models out there, you have a lot less moving parts, and everything's basically contained here in the core. So let's get down to disassembly. You have a magazine well pin here. This is pretty self-explanatory. You push out the pin, you go ahead and take out that. What I like to do when I disassemble my markers is I put all the parts that I'm taking apart or taking off of the marker in front of me, okay? If I'm gonna be replacing parts or anything like that, what I'll do is I'll take the parts that I'm replacing and put them to the left or right. But the parts that I need to put back on the marker, I put in front of me. And the reason being is that way when I'm reassembling the system or the marker, all I have to do is pull from in front of me, and I know that all the parts that I took off that I'm putting back on are right here in front of me. So if I do reassemble it back together and I see parts still here in front of me, I know that I'm missing something. So it's a good rule of thumb, especially when you're dealing with markers that have a lot of moving parts. So once you have the mag pin out, you pull down and then drop down this way. So don't try to rip it off, because these two little I guess you could say just like divots here, they're like teeth. They hook on to that hinge screw that it's on both sides here. You can see one on this side and then one on this side, and it holds on there. So that way it's able to hinge and swivel on and off the marker. So you have your body here. You can see your trigger frame is completely detachable. You have a back cap here, just like on your X7 Phenom. You pull those out, just two pins. Take off that cap, no biggie. And then we'll go ahead and do the magwell. Or I'm sorry, the trigger guard. So there's only one pin left, and this part comes right off. And there you have it. There is your trigger guard. Now, the trigger, just basic maintenance, you always want to make sure that there are two O-rings on here. And this is because the hose line for the air goes right through here into the ASA. So what I like to do is I always apply, there's two O-rings on here. I apply some oil on both of those O-rings just to make sure. You want to inspect those very carefully and replace if necessary. If you get a leak from the trigger frame, this is most likely going to be your culprit, because the air travels all the way up through here into the core. So got that separated. Go ahead, and now what's left is the core itself. So you're gonna see a Cyclone plug here, and then you're also, I'm sorry, not a Cyclone plug, but a core plug here, and then your Cyclone plug here. Now this one, you can see, goes into the divot here, and then it locks into place there. So what I like to do is always remove this side first. And the only tool that you really need outside of the Allen key for the body screws, but you're just gonna take a flathead screwdriver, and I like to press up on the indentation and pull that out. Now this part is also very important for maintenance because there are 2 O-rings on here that seal that chamber. So I always apply oil on those O-rings. It's very, very important. Put that in front. And as you can see here, the Cyclone Plug has now moved to this area, so we can actually pull that out as well. And this one's actually easy enough to pull out with your finger. There is a tiny, tiny, tiny O-ring on this. Like I said, a little 1 drop of oil on that is good as well. So now I should be able to have access now to the core, and you'll see all the way down to the breech there. So very, very simple. This is your Phenom core. This is your shape projectile bolt. It goes right over here. You have a buffer O-ring, or it's more like a gasket of sort right here, and this actually cushions the cycling of that, and then of course your spring, your return spring. So one thing that's very important that I get a lot of times issues with the Hurricane is people firing or airing up with the rear air version, of course, not necessarily the pistol, the ASA and the pistol grip, but they'll air up the marker and this firing pin will actually shoot out. And if you lose this, you're going to leak air out of it, and you're not going to be able to, the core is going to need to be replaced because this pin is not a skewable part, I believe, on TipmanParts.com. This is your velocity adjustment here, and we're going to go through that through this video as well. So here's your Hurricane body, and then, like I said, your trigger frame. Very, very simple. Very, 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 very simple. You don't need to do anything else from here. Like I said, we're not going to take off the body screws. There's no reason to. There's actually no reason to, even for maintenance, as long as there's no dirt or grime inside of your breech or channel, you're good to go. One thing I would always take a look at is your ball detent, of course, which is right there, and ours is in good shape. If that needs to be replaced, or you're having balls roll out the barrel, obviously you need to check your ball detent. That should be the first thing. So we'll go ahead and reassemble here. Like I said, I have all the parts in front of me. I'm not removing or replacing anything. So everything that you see that I need for this gun is right here in front of me. So what I like to do is I'll put the core in first. And obviously you always want to have the marker upside down, but this is how the core gets reinserted. Okay. And just so you know, make sure that it's installed correctly, as this should move freely back and forth because of that spring. What I like to do from here is I'll go ahead and I'll take the Cyclone Plug, the little one with the O-ring at the end, and put that one in first, because this is actually going to lock into that chamber, and you just press it down as far as it can go. And then I'll go to the other side and I will push the core forward so this hole right here aligns correctly. And then I will take our other plug, and which is this one with the 2 O-rings on the back. I will press this into place, push it straight down. If you push it to the side, you take a risk of damaging those O-rings, thus creating a leak. Remember, a paintball gun is full of O-rings, and those O-rings have a purpose and a job, and that is to seal areas where air is being penetrated either behind it or around it. So keep that in mind. Leaks, most common place for leaks is the firing pin right here. If you're missing that, that's most commonly where that leaks from. Because, like I said, someone aired it up with the rear air option with the trigger frame off, and it shot out. And then ultimately from here, or from the Cyclone Plug, because the O-rings are damaged. From this point, we'll go ahead and reinsert the trigger frame. And the trigger frame, you can see the hole right there. So either if you have the rear air version or you have the ASA pistol grip version, it's still going to have a part that goes into this hole, okay? So we'll go ahead and pop that straight down so that can go in there. You might have to finagle this a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so I have that on there. I can go ahead and put the front pin on first. And then from here, I'll go ahead and put the back cap on. We'll put the last of the pins inside. Doesn't matter what direction or what side you put the pins on. I like to have them all facing the same side so that way I know they're there. Now my trigger frame is on, my back cap is on, that's not gonna go anywhere, okay? The last and final step for the installation is the mag frame, or mag well. And that's it. There is your Hurricane conversion kit. I got a little oil on there. Always take my rag, wipe it up, nice and make it nice and clean. And there you have it. This is the Hurricane installation video. If you have any questions or concerns or leaks or anything like that, make sure you give us a call, jump on the mcsus.com website, or you can contact me directly on the MCS Red Facebook page or via chat or my email. Your velocity adjustment, just for the final walkthrough here, is right here. You take an Allen key or any type of thing will fit into this pinwheel here, basically. Turning it to the right side or down is actually turning the velocity down. Opening it or tightening up, loosening I should say, is actually turning the velocity up. So other than that, this is your Hurricane installation video. This is your Hurricane marker. I hope to see you guys out on the field.